And welcome back, Miami peeps. I don't know why I was saying that. Welcome back to the Miami franchise peeps. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm running off a little high because it's not fully finished yet. I still need to do kind of the big intro. But, and this is going to go out first, but so you guys know, the portion of at least showing you what I've done with the roosters and some changes I've made that will be made known in the intro, and then you will see them, is done. I just got to finish the intro, record it, get the effects going, add it on to that video, and the roosters will be back. But for now, because I wanted to play, I was really wanting to record gameplay, but I don't want to do the roosters yet because I really want to get the rooster stuff finished. So we're back on Miami. It's not going to be a quiet episode today. It's not going to be the quieting part. I think it would be part 4 because we're at just posted part 3 yesterday. Deafening silence. That's not going to happen today. This is going to be kind of again a me kind of talky podcast. Maybe about we're about 30 plus games into the normal baseball regular season now. But actually, just remembering it's not going to be that yet because no, it is because we're doing Yuri Perez versus Sandy Alcantara. I forgot draft. It is not draft day, so yeah, it's going to be kind of another little talking me podcast, just talking about some baseball news, some scores, maybe throwing a little basketball. I'm not a huge NBA fan, but I know the playoffs are going right now, so maybe we can talk about that a little bit and who I would like to see move on, maybe go to the championship. But first, it's been a while for me on the Marlins. Let me just kind of reacquaint myself with the team real quick. Pitching rotation. Got Max Kumar in our trade. Yuri Perez, Les Burton, Christian Scott, who I think I want to throw here instead of Les. Just get some time in the bullpen. Maybe he'll straighten it out. Carlos is good. Lineup. We're liking the lineup pretty okay. I wonder if I should swap these two. No, I want to give Kobe May the benefit of the doubt. We got Brett Beatty though in some trades. I remember seeing that we boosted Evan Carter's steal and basic running aggressiveness a little bit because he's got 95 speed. I want him to steal just a little bit more. We did the same with Connor Norby. He's got 87 speed. Just want him to steal a little bit more. We also got Luis Robert. We made some trades. So got Ezekiel Duran. Brett Wisely kind of is now a platoon guy. Can play anywhere but first. But that can be John Bride's job. Our team is looking okay. Of course, we got Joey down here. Oh, we also boosted Ezekiel Duran a little bit because he's about 80 speed, and I want him to steal a little more too. But we are good. That was just a little recap for me. I think we are gonna maybe look at the trade block real quick. Seiya Suzuki is still there. Shane McClanahan. Having an okay year. I don't know how we would get him though. I would have to think of maybe like, wow. Where are the Rays record-wise? They are at the bottom of the barrel in the East. 39 and 56. They're one game better than the White Sox and the Rangers. Wow, the Rangers. I don't know why the Rangers are so bad in game. Mariners kicking butt though. I think so are the Red Sox. Yeah, there you go. Go Red Sox. Even though their rank is still only 16th, go Red Sox. Dodgers are not leading the West. The Padres are. Go Padres. Giants not super far behind. They're 9.5 back of the Padres though. About 7.5, it looks like, back from the Dodgers. So let's go Giants. Pirates leading the way in this game world, followed by the Reds, Cubs, Brewers, Cardinals. And we're somehow staying around 500. We're better than the Mets, better than the Nationals, which is surprising because they got a lot of good young talent. But this is a little bit older save. I know Mackenzie Gore has had a hot start to the season. These first 30 games, I think him. I don't remember who's 1 and 2, but I know him and Zach Wheeler just faced each other again last night, like they did opening day, and those two are, I believe, the leading strikeout. That's that could be talk for the game. But you know where I'm going with it. We'll talk more in the game. So Rays are at the bottom of the barrel. I mean, we're trying to get this team good fast. We go for Shane McClanahan. He instantly helps this rotation. I like Christian Scott. We got him from the Mets because he looked good. But if we can get Shane, Christian Scott, Shane, they get a young, very controllable starting pitcher, which is what the Rays like. I mean, like I said, he's 2 years younger. He's got this year and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra years of control. He'll be only 30 by the time he hits free agency. I think we do that. Who else do we give up? Dane Myers, I know in real life, I think he's doing okay. I think we give him Dane Myers. It says they are looking for left field help, and hey, he's left field help. They're also looking for relief pitching. I don't really have anybody I can give up, though. Maybe him? That just doesn't feel right. What if we gave up? He's only a C overall, but he's young. A young prospect. We'll give it for Shane. Unless, I mean, I like him, but can it be Les Burton? No, that's got to be Christian. Okay, well, we traded for him to trade him right back for Shane McClanahan. And now, once we get to the All-Star break, we'll swap these two to go up top. 1-2 punch. Looking kind of good. But let's get... Actually, I got some packs today, and I got some new sponsorships, so let's see what we got. So that's this one. Ooh. You know what? That's 10,000 per double play, though. No, we don't have a lot of power right now, but what we do have a lot of speed. So we'll put that there. 15,000 per game. That's 20,000 per game. And we got a pretty okay defensive infield now. I think we'll keep the $10,000 per double play for sponsorships. And just like that, we're ready to game. I'm going to stop talking for a quick sec. Cut this part out. Alright. There we go. Alright, what I was going to say before I decided to wait for the game is Zach Wheeler and Mackenzie Gore. They faced off, I think, last night or the other day. I think they're the leaders of. We'll check in on our old teammate JD Martinez, but I think they're leading both in National League in strikeouts. I don't remember who's 1 or 2, but I know they are 1 and 2, which for the Nationals, I'm so glad that Mackenzie Gore is finally starting to break out and having a good start to the season so far. I hope he can keep it up because they. I think the Nationals are good. They're young. They're fun. I think they need to. Not need to. I think they're gonna surprise some people this year and take a step forward, like Mackenzie Gore. James Woods is good. People talk about C.J. Abrams' off-field stuff, which maybe, yeah, don't stay up till like 4 in the morning gambling, but C.J. Abrams is good. He's a good player. I think Nationals are. They're good. They're young. They're gonna surprise some people. I watched some highlights from that game, and he was doing fine. He won, but Zach. I don't know if he was like changing his fastball around, but his Zach Wheeler's fastball velocity looked really down from what it normally is. And it could have been just maybe they were showing different pitches. But they looked like fastballs, and they were only like 91, 92 in the highlights they show. So I hope maybe I'm wrong, and maybe that's just like a cutter or something, not his four seam that they were showing, because it was on strikeouts. But that's his fastball velocity down this year. It's a little concerning, but they never specified what pitch, so I am optimistic. And it was just an off-speed pitch. But news today, baseball-wise, of the Mariners just got done sweeping the 2-game series against the Angels, which I think, according to the Mariner Mojo podcast, that is, they have decided that a 2-game sweep is called a duster. And then we got the 3-game sweep, which is just a sweep, get out the brooms. And then if you sweep in 4 games, that's a mop. I don't know why I super enunciated the P. That's just what Manor Mojo podcast calls them. They just got done. I think they won 9-3. Got a 6-run seventh inning today. Is I think what happened. Which, hey, that's 7 series wins in a row for them. The Angels, like I said, they played the Angels, who were at one point, I think, leading the division, and now they have fallen to last, I think. I think in the division standings for the AL West, I think it's the Mariners, Rangers, Athletics, Astros, Angels right now. Which is, hey, I don't know if the Athletics pitching is going to last, but I'll tell you one thing. They've got I think I said it last podcast time, they got like a nice, young, fun offense with Brent Rooker there, kind of the older vet presence, and the Athletics are a fun team. It sucks that they can't be doing this right now in the Coliseum, but the owner didn't re-sign with the city or whatever, wants to move to Vegas, and I don't even think they've started breaking any ground on the Vegas stadium yet. So they're in a AAA affiliate in Sacramento, which is not great. Like I said, I wish they were doing it in the Coliseum. I know the Coliseum is not super hitter friendly, but at least it's historic, kind of. I know it's also not. I've heard it's not greatly maintained. I've heard it's got feral cats everywhere around the Coliseum. I've seen horror stories of like I think it was just the sprinkler pipes, but like the sprinkler pipes bursting and they had to cancel the game because dugouts were flooded. It was not well maintained, but I don't know. I I'd still rather see him in the Coliseum than in a AAA affiliate stadium. Which I know you could say, well, then what about the Tampa Bay Rays? They're in a AAA stadium. True, you are correct. They are playing their home games in a AAA stadium. But their home stadium was destroyed by a hurricane. It's a little different. Sure, yes, their owner's kind of cheap too, but like what are they supposed to do when a hurricane comes and tears the roof off of their stadium? Like, there's nothing you can do. You can't prevent that. Which I say still sucks that they have to play in a AAA stadium, or I think maybe not even AAA. They might even be doing their spring training stadium, but like, it sucks in both cases, and they're completely different cases. Like, one's just a cheap owner, the other one is Mother Nature saying, I do what I want.
That's a ball.
And, you know, she does. She does what she wants, and unfortunately, the Rays gotta play in the minor league spring training stadium because of it. Which, hey, you know, sucks because I don't think they've started breaking ground on their new stadium too, which I personally don't think it should still be in St. Petersburg. I know I've heard people have this argument. They're keeping it in St. Petersburg, and it might be in a worse location than it is now. Like, which is weird to say, but it might be. I think they should just go over to Tampa fully. Be easier for the fans to get there. But hey, I don't own a major league club, and if I did, I don't. I would want to have enough money for the team to spend on it, but I also would want the fans to be happy. You know, I might have to say, hey, fans. Like, say in Tampa Bay's case, I could go, hey, fans. I know you've been complaining about where our stadium placement is at for years now. And we've had playoff games that come nowhere close to selling out. As wow, go Perez. But we've had playoff games that don't even fully sell out just because no one wants to come here because to get here sucks, the parking sucks, everything kind of about our stadium sucks. So I will go to fans and say, so here's what I can do. I can either, if I was the owner and I had a bunch of money, I could go, I can either spend some money on some players, get some revenue going that way, or we can stay a little cheap for a few more years while we go to, I spend more money instead of saying, hey, let's build a new stadium in the same kind of place but worse. Instead of that, I go spend more money, fully move over to Tampa Bay, make it easier for you guys. What do you want? That's what I would do. And I know the fans probably in Tampa would be like, yeah, actually move to Tampa. But that's what I would do. Because, like, I would want to, like with the Mariners, if I own the Mariners, I would want to spend money. I would want to make them a better team, right? I would spend money. But I would also, at the same time, go up there and be like, because, I've been up there plenty of times. I've been to a, Washington Husky game. The campus and university is not far off from, I don't even know what the heck the football stadium is called anymore. They changed it from something, and then it was CenturyLink, and then it was like, I think Quest Field, and now it's something different. I don't know, but it's maybe like a 20-minute drive with traffic, because, Seattle traffic sucks. But like maybe 15, 20 minutes to get from college to T-Mobile football field, and I'd be like, hey, when we're not home, come over here with your science class and weather people. I don't know why I'm not calling them what they are, but just come over here, just do some experiments, see if there is a way we can beat the marine layer. Like I think I've heard before, and call them what you will. I know the Mariners fans will, but I think I remember one time A-Rod saying, especially in the colder months, he's like, you want even just slightly better offense in the colder months in Seattle? Close the roof, even on nice days. If it's like 45 degrees and it's not raining on a clear day, just keep the roof closed. Now, I don't know if that's true. I would be like, hey, college, hey, University of Washington, the Huskies, get your science crews over here. See if that's true. If not, maybe find some other ways. Maybe do some science like, hey, we've heard all the time the batter's eye and pitcher's mound is weird. Maybe fix it a little bit. Maybe see if there's a way we can still make sure we have great pitching, but maybe to boost the offense a little. I would spend money there. Because if I was I don't know, as an owner, I'm sure you heard, of course, I would want my team to do good. I would want my team to be better. But at the end of the day, unlike a lot of these owners who just want to make money, I would want the fans to be happy because they're the ones who would pay me as the owner, who pay the players, who pay the people who work at the stadiums. I would want them to be happy because if they're happy, the more of them come to games, which means, quote unquote, more money. And that's my little rant about that. But, so yeah, back to the actual baseball. The NL West 30 games in is pretty crazy. I think, except for the Rockies, which we'll get to them in a sec, but I think fourth place, which I think is the Diamondbacks, up to first place, which I think is the Padres right now, like in our in-game universe here. I think they're only separated by like 3.5 games, first and fourth. I think it's San Diego, Dodgers, Giants, Diamondbacks, and they're all within like 3.5 games of each other right now. It's a great division. And then there's the Rockies, who are looking to be potentially, I don't know what they're on track for right now, but right now they're looking worse than the White Sox last year. And I think we could potentially see another record-breaking worst season for a team in MLB history like the White Sox did last year, which, has only happened in my, if I had a nickel for every time that happened in my life, I'd only have 2 nickels, but it's weird it's happened twice. And it's even weirder it's happened back-to-back seasons, potentially. Which, if I was going back to GM stuff, I was the Rockies of the GM of the Rockies, or owner. Tell people to make trades, sign people, pay people. Here's what I would tell my general manager to do: focus solely on pitching. It is Coors Field. Now, of course, you want your player, especially your offense, to perform in other stadiums. But our home stadium would be Coors Field. We play 81 games in that stadium a year, right? So I would say, of course, we need a competent offense in both our home stadium and away stadium. But it is Coors Field. We do not have to worry about offense. Offense just happens at Coors Field. I haven't played baseball since high school. I could probably go to Coors Field and say with baseball bat bros, if they ever want me, even though I haven't really swung a bat against even a pitching machine since high school. Say I somehow know them. They invite me to go with them to Coors Field. And I have not really hit a ball off anything other than a tee for the past 10 plus years. I could probably hit a home run at Coors Field. Once I get warmed up, I could probably hit a home run. It's probably just one, but I could probably do it. And if I can do it, even these people in the, major leagues who, quote unquote, don't stay very long, they could. So that's what I would tell my GM. I would say, hey, Give us a somewhat competent offense because I know 81 games out of the year, our offense is going to go crazy at home. Give me pitching. That's what I would do if I was a Rockies GM. I think as of right now, I saw last night they're 4-25. They've played 30 games this season, won 4 of them. That's what I. So that's what I would do. I would just be like, "Hey, yo, GM, get me as much goddamn pitching as you possibly can. We can figure out the offense as we go. Because again, it's Coors Field. Offense will come from anybody. Give me pitching." Which I think I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was. I can't remember what baseball YouTuber I was watching, but they talked about it, and there was it was talking about pitchers in Colorado, and they found a pitch that actually can actually kind of work in um Coors. I think it was I don't want to but the pitch I think was it was like a weird slider or split, like a splitter changeup thing. Because we all know in Coors, up a mile high in the air, 5,000 feet elevation, the ball doesn't break. And so they were talking about an off speed pitch that does, I think it was a slider type pitch where it doesn't do like the normal super slider break, or it's not like a sweeper or a slurve or a curve. It was more flat, but it was working somehow, I think. I would have to find it. And I don't, like I said, I don't remember who even uploaded the video. But I remember watching it like a month or two ago. So I would find that guy and I would be like, hey, tell me more about this pitch and should my pitchers learn it? Because if it's effective even in Coors, that, that's something, you know? Because let's be fair, you're talking about baseball teams. Say the Mariners and the Colorado Rockies, both teams that have never won a World Series. With how bad pitching is in Colorado, Colorado has gotten closer to winning a World Series than the Mariners ever have. The Colorado Rockies have been to the World Series. Now I think it was what, when did it, no, it was against Boston. Was it I think it was 07 they went. And I think they got swept in 4. It was not a competitive series for Boston, but they made it. Mariners have only ever made it to the championship series. But that's just that. That is just that. And, bringing up the topic I said earlier. Speaking of baseball YouTubers, was watching one of Robbie Hyde's new videos the other day. He did a video for players that you might want to start worrying about for this season. That's 100 top of its own. And one of them was Jordan Walker for the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, as a fan of baseball, I could say I'm worried too, but I made a comment, and, because it's a thing I think is real and I believe, and it's, while maybe you should worry about Jordan Walker, I don't know if it's the way he approaches the plate himself, and hits. I think I hate to say it, but I think it's St. Louis themselves. Because as I said in my comment, when is the last time the Cardinals have actually been able to develop and throw out there a good outfield prospect? I can't really remember any. Maybe, I wouldn't say he was really good, like all-star level, or MVP level, like Jordan Walker could potentially be, but the only one I could think of that I remember, I think being homegrown from St. Louis, was John Jay. Other than that, every other notable outfielder that I can think of in recent memory that was on the Cardinals that was good, they traded for Marcell Ozuna, traded for Jim Edmonds, signed out of free agency. Jason Hayward, traded for half a season. Matt Holliday, signed out of free agency. I don't think he ever played in the outfield, but I remember games back in the day said it was his backup positions. Lance Berkman signed him, even though I don't think he ever played outfield. I think back in older MLB The Shows and even like 2K, which man, I miss 2K10. That was a fun game. Still technically have it on the Wii, but I gotta set up my Wii, which I could maybe do some videos on that. But I'd have to get a GameCube controller first though, because I don't want to play with the Wii controller at my desk. But I don't like I remember John Jay, and unless you're like a super like St. Louis fan, like they're your team, I don't. I don't know. Listen, I don't remember a single name in recent memory where they were an outfielder that they developed. Heck, I don't even remember an infielder they've kind of developed well. I mean, Nolan Arenado, traded for. Mark McGwire. I mean, I guess Albert Pujols. But that's the only notable. And I guess Yachty. But other than that, the more notable names for recent memory for me for the Cardinals that they developed well is pitching. Chris Carpenter, Adam Wainwright, just to name a couple. You know? So, like, sure, maybe it is a little worrying for Jordan Walker because he was such a top prospect and he's just 3 years. I mean, he's only like 22, 23, and it's been 3 years and he does it into nothing, but it might be the Cardinals. Not Jordan Walker might not be the problem. It might not be it might be the Cardinals. Although you can say, well, how do you know? Because Tampa Bay Rays wouldn't trade for Dylan Carlson last year, who was a homegrown St. Louis Cardinal outfielder, and he still hasn't done anything. True. But let's look at some other cases that have worked out well. Adolis Garcia traded to the Texas Rangers because Cardinals didn't think he was going to be anything. Look at Garcia now. He's won a World Series. He's one of the better right fielders in the game, even though he had a kind of down year last year still. One of the better right fielders in the game. Randy Arozarena is another one. Traded him to Tampa Bay. Playoff Randy in 2020. That is all I will say. And he's having a pretty okay start for the Mariners this season. Not hitting average-wise great, but he's been clutch with home runs. He's gotten some RBI, a lot of RBI. You know, he had a grand slam, I think, like a week ago during the homestand the Mariners are in right now. You know, these players that I thought, they're good. And these players that think they've been getting that they think are good have been bad. So then I look at it and I go, is St. Louis the problem? Which sucks to say because they're, what, I think they have the second most championships in MLB history. It's like, what, they have, I don't remember how many they have, but I'm pretty sure St. Louis has the second most championships, like World Series wins in the MLB. So, you know, that's that. Other news, we got Marlins. Like, you know, in this game, Marlins not off to the worst start in the league. They're not doing terrible. you know. But that was a terrible swing. Look at the NL. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Look at the NL Central. The freaking Brewers. What a horrible start against the Yankees to start the season. What a horrible, horrible series for them. And you know, speaking of the Yankees, and I guess some other teams around the league is talking point. Maybe I've wanted to talk about, but I've been waiting to have maybe some more things to talk about other than this. Torpedo bats. There's not many out there, and I've watched a few of the videos from Baseball Bat Bros that I mentioned earlier. They did the torpedo bats, and I already kind of thought before, and now I know some of the torpedo bats are specifically made for the players. But with my own thoughts, with what the Baseball Bat Bros said in their video, I feel like, to me, at least I can confirm my own opinion that I think the torpedo bats are kind of a placebo effect. I think they're a placebo because at the end of the day, you're moving the mass closer to your hands. Which you would think, yeah, you know, move it closer to your hands. You know, move the meat of the bat from the end to the middle where it is. Yeah, you could do that. Or, which apparently I heard is you're not supposed to talk about in Major League Baseball, thanks to the Baseball Bat Bros. But if you're having trouble with the inside pitch, just get a shorter bat. It's the same thing as a torpedo bat. You're moving the mass technically closer to the ball. Like just get a shorter bat. Like heck, I did that. I used to swing freaking from Little League up to what we called here Babe Ruth League, which we had no like intermediate. We went straight from Little League, which was like 40, 60 to these quote unquote Babe Ruth League fields that were pretty much 60 normal home to plate pitchers, man, you see right now in the major leagues and 90-foot bases. But Little League, even though it's shorter distances, and there were some kids who threw hard, I had a longer bat. I had I think a 32, 33-inch bat I was swinging. It was lightweight, because, Little League bats are like, it's 33 inches long, but it's freaking 22 ounces, right? Lightweight. But got to this Babe Ruth Major League type field, and I realized, even though the people who I thought threw hard were throwing softer, it's a lot different. And granted, I've always hated the inside pitch anyway, but with this long bat, even though it's a longer distance, so the ball's not going as fast, I'm having a harder time hitting the inside pitch. So I got a smaller bat. And you know what it did? It helped. I could still reach the outside pitch because of my arm length, because I have good reach. And I could hit the inside pitch better, because I moved the meat of the bat, the hot spot, closer to the inside pitch. That's all you gotta do. You don't gotta move the torpedo bat around. Like, it's cool. I'm glad people feel like they're having success. But, like I said, my own opinion, and getting added onto by the Baseball Bat Bros, I think the torpedo bat's placebo. I think it's a placebo. Like, I remember I see someone like, people should stop talking bad about the torpedo bat. Pitchers have been innovating new pitches and training mechanics and stuff for years. It's about time the hitters got something new to fight back. And yeah, maybe, but at the same time, you know what else could help fight back? Swinging the bat. This three true outcome bullcrap is exactly that, bullcrap. As a fan, watching a batter either walk, strike out, or hit a home run, not very entertaining. You know what's entertaining? Watching people swing the bat and hit the ball. Like, go back to the day, watching on TV and in stadium. You know who was the best at bat to watch, the most fun? It was Ichiro up in Seattle. Sure, he was just slapping base hits to the opposite field. But it was fun because he just didn't stand there and look for a certain ball in a certain area to try to hit a home run. He was like, oh, nope, you're going to throw me outside and away. Dink, over your third baseman's head, base hit. Oh, and then I'm going to steal second because I'm like one of the fastest players in the league. That's fun. Watching hitters hit it in the gap for a double, triple. Fun. You know it's not fun? While maybe cool, battling, you know it's not fun? Watching a batter and a pitcher battle for 14 plus pitches and end in a walk. It kind of ruins the hype. Now, if in that situation, that one of the three true outcomes, if there were a home run happened after like a 12 pitch at bat, I will admit, yeah, that's pretty goddamn hype right there. You freaking battle off, you know, foul off pitches, watch balls, and then, you know, battle the witch, you hit a home run. I'll admit that's pretty entertaining. Ball one. But watching strike three, yay. Watching the ball four, yay. Oh, cool. A solo home run in the fifth. Great. It's like, it's not fun. Swing the bat. You know, I don't know if I said this last kind of quote unquote podcast thingy, but like, do you think Pete Rose got the record for most hits by an MLB player ever by waiting for a changeup down and in? No, he saw the ball, he hit it. You think Ichiro got over 3,000 hits as coming over at the age of 27 by waiting for a certain pitch in a certain spot? No. He saw the ball, he said, hey, I can hit that ball. And he hit it. Like I think I talked a little about before, like that's my problem with people who don't like Luis Ariz, like Draft Nick Mark. He's always like, Luis Ariz is overrated. Doesn't hit for power, he just hits base hits. Yeah. And with the way lineups are constructed now, you bat him like third, bat him fourth, get your speedy or on base guys on. Luis Ariz comes up, sure he can only hit singles, but it's a single. There's a run scored. Instead of leading him off and, oh, well, you know, he can't really run either. So let's lead him off. Why? I'm bat third, I'm bat fourth. Had him hit some runs. Use those base hits to your advantage. Because not every field is Coors Field. Some stadiums are like Seattle, the worst hitters park in the majors. It's like Seattle. Stop trying to be this three true outcome team on base. I mean, on base is important. Yeah, you want to get on base because you need to score runs. But this walk happy, strikeout happy, home run happy. That's not you. You're Seattle. Even in this, I mean, the only time the ball really flies is in summertime. You know what you do for the rest of the year? You got a pretty spacious outfield. Hit that shit in the gaps. Hit it down the line. Get extra base hits. You know? You know, although I say that right now, the Mariners team is kind of hitting a lot of taters, though, to start the season. I will say that. Cal Rowley's leading the league with 10 right now. Jorge Polanco hit 2 yesterday again. I think he's up to like six or seven now, maybe even 8. He's having a bounce back year for him, but like, it's like you got like for the Mariners, you gotta know your stadium. You know,
Yeah.
don't try to hit taters all the time. Maybe if you're going to Colorado, if you're playing a game in Colorado, yeah, just go up to Colorado and just
Ball.
swing for the fences every time. Who cares? Because in Colorado, you could hit what could be a routine fly ball in 28 of the other 30 stadiums in Coors Field, and probably Yankee Stadium too, because Yankee Stadium is small. But in Coors Field, it's probably gone. That ball will just carry.
Ball.
Just gotta know your field. You know. Other than that, you know, looking around, I don't. There's not many trades to start off. I know Sandy Alcantara, because the kind of on the trade block, kind of not, because like I said, even in real life right now, the Marlins are kind of in it right now. But I still think they should trade Sandy. And I think just like in game, I think Baltimore is one of the teams that makes the most sense. They need an ace-like pitcher because their pitching staff has not been great to start the season. So you know, I think they should do that. Sorry, I don't know if you heard me
No.
burp. Excuse me if you did, but
1-0.
they need the pitching. You know, he can help. Marlins need offense, and like I said, I think in real life the trade makes sense. They have Kobe Mayo right now in the minors, and he's in real life he's kind of upset about that. You know where he would be played every day if he went there? Miami. Do what I did.
Yes.
Kobe at third, move Norby back to second, or put Kobe at first. Find a third baseman. You know, because they got good young pitching, and because you know, like they have another trade piece. Like we traded Edward Cabrera, who just has not figured it out in Miami of all places. Trade him somewhere. Get some more pieces like I did. You know. Other trades going back to the Mariners with Polanco
1-1 strike.
actually having a hot start and doing most of the DHing now. Ben Williamson, their young rookie they brought up so far in like his first 10 games, is doing good. Luke Raley maybe isn't as good as Victor Robles projected to be, but he's he's
1-2.
he's he's good out there in the outfield. He had a good season last year, you know, and now he's kind of out there full time again because of the injury. You know, he's a good replacement for Victor. And I look at the Mariners and I said in the Mariners Mojo post game stream yesterday because they be doing that after the Mariners
That's
games.
foul.
I think it's fair to say that the only real hole the Mariners have right now is first base. Now I don't know who they could get because one of the bigger trade targets, if he didn't sign the extension, was Vladdy Guerrero, and now he's worth $500 million over the next like 14 years. So that's out. So I don't know who they could go and get per se. I don't know who at first base is available. Maybe Mountcastle for the Orioles. You know, maybe they could do that, and then they could move Kobe Mayo over to first. But there's that. You know, I said they started off hot, and now I think they're in last place. The Angels. I just think. I know you want to try,
1-1.
but Angels. It's time to move Mike Trout. It is time. I don't know where you move him to, but it's time. Get him to a winning team. See what he can actually do in the postseason run, because we've only seen it once. See what he can do. I look at teams that maybe could get them. They'd have to give up a lot. I think maybe even Roman Anthony, but Boston. I think he could do well in Boston. It'd be closer to his home in
Set the
New
ball.
Jersey. Same again with Baltimore, but I think Baltimore needs pitching more than offense. Yankees are the Yankees. They can get anybody. I don't want to see him go to the Dodgers just because screw the Dodgers. Mets have Soto. Uh, Maybe the Phillies. I know I know Mike Trout's an Eagles fan, but Phillies have so many really big contracts and not. I mean, he would definitely be a better uh, defensive upgrade over Nick Castellanos. But then where do you put Nick Castellanos? Because Schwarber needs to DH majority of the time because he can't play the outfield. So I have no idea where they would put Mike Trout. But I just think the Angels need to trade him. I think they just. And even if the Angels are not wanting to trade him, I think Mike Trout himself needs to just go say, "Hey, guys, it's time. I can't do it anymore. Can't do it anymore." Another person I thought could be on the move this year, but and maybe it's because he's just checked out. Because right now, who wants to play for the White Sox? But Luis Robert, who we saw fly out before
One
Evan
ball,
Carter,
2 strikes.
not doing great this season so far. But then again, you could chalk that up to maybe he's just checked out. But then I would feel like even though it's the White Sox and you're a bad team, wouldn't you want to be like, "Hey, I'm healthy. Look what I could do to help your lineup," to a team. But I don't know. There some other bad teams. I mean, we talked about Jordan Walker specifically, but I think the Cardinals kind of need to do a fire sale. They're kind of one of the teams that doesn't like to go full on rebuild. They like to tweak, but they need to go. They kind of need to go on a full on rebuild. They don't. They don't really have any young pitching coming up. So I think they need to trade Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray, I feel like could be an option for Baltimore as well. He's a little older than Sandy, but is an option for them. I think he could go to.
Ball.
It also depends on who's in it, because I know people are saying, "Oh, Padres, who are they going to trade Cease to?" Right now, they're in it, and I think being in it, they wouldn't want to trade him. So I could see Sonny Gray saying if they're still at the top, because I think Sonny Gray's only got 1 or 2 years left. Even though Padres have a lot of big pitching contracts, and Darvish, Musgrove, and I think
Got him. That's an
Cease
out.
is making quite a bit. Not like I mean, it's only 1 year, but I think he's making like close to 14 mil or something like that. But Padres could be in on Gray if they're in it, because I don't see why they would trade Dylan Cease if they are in a winning position and in the playoffs.
No.
I could see. I don't know. I could see maybe. Because I think Detroit's going to be good. And they are good this year so
Ahoy.
far. I think they're leading the AL Central. They've got, of course, Tarek Skubal. They got Flaherty back. Reese Olson is pretty okay, but I think they could use a stronger number two.
He's out.
Even though I like Flaherty, I could see the Tigers maybe trying to see if they could get Gray from uh, the Cardinals, and maybe even Ryan Helsley to shore up the back of their bullpen. I could see that too, man. And I think the Tigers would be scary if they did that. Other bad teams with tradable pieces. Oh, well, I guess we could say on Cardinals. Arenado, I think. I don't know where he goes. Maybe New York. I don't know what the Yankees would give back, but I could see him in New York playing third. They do need a defensive, really good defensive third baseman over there, and plus the little bit shorter porches in New York could probably help Arenado get his offensive numbers back up. You know.
High, three.
Now we can go back to bad teams that have tradable pieces. Colorado, they don't really have anything. I mean, Brendan Doyle, but he's good. I would feel like you would want to build around him. Same with Ezekiel Tovar, their pitcher. How can Sandy have pitched four but pitched six? Oh, because where'd Charlie Morton get in the game? I was not paying attention. But looking around the league, Tampa Bay, they have let's say Yandy Diaz. He could maybe be the Mariners' first baseman, maybe. Even though I heard him. The reason they didn't get Yandy last year with Randy is because apparently they're not super close. They're kind of not fans of each other. But I could see Yandy going over there.
No balls. Two
Brandon
strikes.
Lau could also go to the Mariners and play second. I think he could also probably play first, too. Brandon Lau's a tradable piece. I think, as you saw at the start of this video, I think maybe Shane McClanahan can be traded if he can show he's healthy, just to help again get them young pitching back.
That's a foul ball.
Um, it signed Danny Jensen. I don't know why. He could probably be on the move. To where, I don't know. I don't know who needs a catcher right now, but see him on the move. It's hard to see who's going to be fourth in the division because the White Sox are probably definitely going to be last in the Central, and their only tradable piece is again Luis Robert, and he is not having a great season right now. But I think the Royals are still going to be good. The Guardians are going to be good. The Tigers, I said they're the cream of the crop right now. It might be the Twins, even though the Twins have a good roster. So I know during the offseason, even still now, they're kind of throwing the idea of trying to cut back on some money a little bit. So trading Pablo Lopez. Again, I could see Baltimore needing a pitcher. Depends on how many years he has left because right now, I mean, not that they need pitching, but right now, Mariners Logan Gilbert just went out with the flexor strain, and that's how a couple years ago for them it started out for Robbie Ray before he needed Tommy John. But let's hope Logan Gilbert doesn't need Tommy John. Kirby is not out.
Ball.
I look at other teams. I don't think I've mentioned for any of them before, but I don't think they would be in on maybe Sandy or Sonny Gray, even though they should. They could definitely be in a more lower tier, like a Pablo Lopez, because like Pablo Lopez is good, but Sonny Gray was a Cy Young contender at one point, and Sandy has won one. Pablo Lopez has been kind of close. I would say he's like a good number two. So I could see the Red Sox trying to bolster that rotation behind Garrett Crochet, who they signed to an extension.
He's out.
I mean, I know right now they're in fourth, and I think they have a winning record. Let me look while this loads up real quick. videos on what standings. We'll talk about that in a sec after this pitch. Actually, the Orioles are in last because of their pitching. I'm just now seeing that. I did not know that. Rays are in third, Blue Jays fourth, Orioles in fifth. Yeah, Orioles, make the trade for the starting pitching now. Go get Sandy or go get Sonny Gray. Heck, even get Pablo Lopez. Because yeah, the Twins right now are in fourth. It's Tigers, Guardians, Royals, Twins, White Sox in the Central. So yeah, make that trade, Orioles. Get that front of the line rotation. Oh, I thought the Athletics were tied. No, it's the Mariners, Astros, Rangers, Athletics, then Angels. I think I said Angels twice. I meant Astros in second. Mariners, Astros, Rangers, Athletics, Angels. Which is sorry. Which, while they're winning right now, I mean, and it is the Houston Astros, but I don't know if they maintain what they're at right now. Because their pitching, except for Hunter Brown, hasn't been great. Their offense has been a little lackluster, you know. Jordan has not been exceptionally great these first 30 games, although he's starting to heat up. Altuve has been okay. I think his defense out in left, though, has not been okay. I think they need to... I know they have Brennan Rodgers now from Colorado, but... Astros, you didn't get back Bregman. Put Altuve back at second. Just put him back there. Just do it. I know you don't have an outfielder behind him that can take his spot, but...
That's a foul ball.
Do it. Just put him back at second. If I remember correctly, and his defense has not been great out there, just put him back at second.
Ball 2, down.
But I don't think they can maintain. But I don't know who they trade and what for. Like I look, I think, oh God, Evan Carter, where are you throwing the ball? Oh my God, guys, just simple toss into second. Holy crap. I don't know if they can maintain this close to the division lead. I think the Astros still might have a winning record, and they might be in for a wild card, but right now, the way it's looking, if the Rangers can get their stacked offense going, I think it might be a two-horse race for the top with the Mariners and the Rangers. Like I said, I think the Astros are still potentially good enough to make a wild card, but the way things are going right now, 30 games in, I think is the Mariners and Rangers are the top two teams you gotta watch out for, because the Rangers have a winning record, and so far through the 30 plus games to start the season, their only real offense has been Wyatt Langford, and they're still 2 games over 500, and he's really been the only significant offense in their lineup. The rest of that lineup gets going, it's gonna be crazy. But if they're out of it, because like I said, the Athletics are 15-15. They've been surprising this year, even though I think they'll fall off. The Astros are out of it. I see them making trades, especially from their rotation. Falmer Valdez can be one gone. I don't know who two again. The people I've mentioned who need starting pitching. You know, just... Oh, I look now, the Marlins have started to fall off. They're last place. But other teams, Reds are surprising. Pirates, I think they just need to develop. They need to get some offense other than O'Neal Cruz. I think has been kind of their main offensive force right now, and it still hasn't even been that great of a season for O'Neal Cruz to start off. Like, he's having an okay start, but maybe not the one they expected. So they just could use some more offense. Reds, I think, could use just some pitching. Brewers, they'll always find a way to win, but again, I think it's reversed. Usually their pitching is good, their offense sucks. This year, I think it's reversed. Their offense is pretty good, but the pitching sucks. More pitching for them. Cubs, they're looking like a favorite in the NL right now, but I think, oh, look at that. I was wrong. Dodgers have now surpassed the Padres. They're only up by like a half a game, but it's still close. 5 games back. I'm working on a few days behind, apparently. I need to get in on that. Braves are another team that can be in on anybody because they're starting to get back healthy. You know, and they had a horrible start to the season, but they're starting to get healthy again, starting to move forward. It's been a crazy first like month of the season, month plus of the season. The Mariners' offense good somehow. The Orioles, who were a favorite in the AL East, as I just saw, are in last place because their pitching has not been great. Make that Baltimore, make that trade now. Make that trade. NL West is going crazy right now. It's pretty good. I've seen some new designs for City Connect jerseys, and I want to specifically bring up the Washington Nationals. Um, they changed theirs, and my question is, why? I thought the gray with the cherry blossoms was arguably one of the best. One in the league, like one of the best. I guess I don't need it really good. One of the best alternate City Connect, not alternate. One of the best City Connect jerseys in the game. Like, I don't know if they sell them anymore. I hope I can find one at Ross, because if they're not, I really want one of those City Connect jersey baseball caps for Washington with the gray and the white, and I think it had cherry blossoms on it. Let me look.
Leading off for the Orioles, right fielder, Colton Alberg.
Yeah, I'm looking here at the picture. It's on Fanatics. It was the gray with the white lettering and the pink cherry blossoms kind of around the W and then on the side. That was gorgeous. Why did they change it? It is a very pretty hat. Very good uniforms, very good hat. And they changed it. They changed it this year. And why? It was so good last year. Like, why did you change it? I'm like, I don't know how the Nationals fans feel and the rest of the baseball community feel, but I am mad and disappointed at the Nationals for changing that, because for me, even though I'm a Red Sox fan, the Nationals City Connect stuff with the cherry blossoms and the gray was, in my opinion, my favorite in the league. Guess I gotta warm up. I do gotta warm up one, but now I don't like the colors of the jerseys, but the hats though, I will say the hats though for the Red Sox City Connects, they're pretty good. I like the hats. I want a hat, but I don't have like a lids or anything super close to me to get one. But I want one because I just really like it. I kind of have an old school. I don't think I have the hat, but I have an old school Mariners type jersey with the yellow, like kind of in the their City Connect jerseys with the trident and everything. I have a lot of hats. I could maybe do that as a video sometime. Show you my collection of baseball hats. I have one of the Angels I got in down in California when I was at Disneyland. It was like me and my mom's last full day down there, hanging out, and we didn't have our Disneyland passes anymore. So we're like, let's go. There's a mall like 30 minutes. Let's Uber over to a mall, and they had the lids, and it's really cool. It's gray, but it's got like neon like the logo is like neon blue and purple. It's got some like neon green on the underbill. It's a really cool hat. It's one of my favorites that I own. I don't know what possessed them to make that color because it doesn't. None of the Angels' colors are like that, but it's one of my favorite hats. I'm glad they did. I saw that and I'm like, I gotta get that hat. That is one of the coolest hats I've ever seen. And I did. I got it. I also got at Ross like a month ago. I got a Red Wings hat, minor league affiliate. I think for the Nationals. Or it's the Yankees. I know it's an East Coast team. I got a lot of Seattle hats. I got some Boston. I got a Tampa Bay Rays spring training hat from years ago. I also have a Cincinnati one as well from like 2016. I'm just now realizing I've also have not talked about the NBA at all. Like I said, kind of at the beginning. So we'll do a little transition from hats. I got cool hats. We'll do a little talk about basketball because we're almost here at the end of the game. And I will say I'm definitely not like a super fan of NBA, but I kind of enjoy most teams. But my favorite from growing up is Cleveland. They moved on. They swept the Miami Heat, which I don't even know how the Heat made the playoffs after trading Jimmy Butler. But hey, good for them, I guess. But they're moving on to the second round. It's gonna sound crazy, but I'm actually kind of happy the Bulls lost the play-in because even though it's not a high lottery pick, they just need something. They need something to go their way. You know, the Lonzo Ball injury a couple years ago. You know, they just need something to go with. So I'm happy there. I think the Lakers and Timberwolves play tonight. The Timberwolves are up 3-1. I like Luka. I like LeBron, but I know it's LeBron. They're gonna show the graphics like, oh, LeBron's like 20-2 in win or go home games or something like that. I don't know the record, but LeBron, Luka, I like you, but you don't really have a center to help you out with Rudy Gobert and everything, kind of boxing everybody out. So I think the Lakers go home tonight. I think Timberwolves move on, which is, from what I know, the NBA is, can I say, surprising considering they traded away Cat, Carl Anthony Towns to the Knicks for, not to throw shade at him, but Julius Randle. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, Julius Randle has been kind of popping off this postseason for the Timberwolves, but like, that's your big piece you get for Carl Anthony Towns. I didn't think it was going to work, but it is, and I think it's going to work at least till the to get to the second round because I think the Timberwolves win tonight. I think they do because I think they're playing tonight. So I think Minnesota moves on. Other rounds, I think I saw earlier before starting. I think the Warriors and Rockets played earlier or are playing right now, and I think the Rockets were up like 70 something to like 40 at halftime. I don't know. I gotta check that real quick. Sorry, checking. Houston Rockets. They're up 93-64 in the third quarter. The Warriors are up 3-1. I think Houston wins today. And I'll be honest, I'm not really that big of a fan of Steph Curry, but I do think, even though I think the Rockets are going to win today, I think the Warriors win the series and move on. I don't know what the numbers are for Denver and the Clippers. I know it's been a pretty back and forth series so far. So I don't know who to pick there. I think just the pedigree of Denver actually winning a championship. I think they go through. I know the Pacers won. I think it was last night, beating the Bucks because Dame got hurt again. Um, I think Boston beat the Magic. by now moved on to the second round. I haven't heard anything about it, but they got it right. I like the Magic. I'm I, I really wanted them to win the play-in too because they were in the play-in with so many injuries they had this year. I'm glad they made it, but uh, you know, I don't think they beat Boston. Oklahoma City Thunder. Who were they playing? I don't even remember who they were playing. I just know that OKC is gonna win, and I think they're gonna make the finals. And I think maybe it's gonna be Cleveland versus Boston, and I think Cleveland might win. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Boston is the five by far. Ugh, I can't talk. By far, better defensive team. But I think at least defensively, Evan Mobley took a big step this year, and I think Cleveland has a little bit more firepower with uh, Mitchell at the two. Garland can pick it up too. I think he can be great. I think Cleveland's got a shot. Potentially. It just depends on how well their other players do, like Jared Allen, and I don't even know who's their starting small forward, but depends on how their other players do, their kind of lesser stars and role players do. Because I don't know how he's been doing in the playoffs, but what is it? Peyton Pritchard for the Celtics? I think he's probably going to be the sixth man this year, win the sixth man award. And when you have that on your team, like Miami did a year or two ago with Tyler Hero before he made the All-Star game this year for the NBA, you at least got one really good bench player if they're up for sixth man of the year, right? So I think that's going to come down to the conference finals in the East. And I want Cleveland to win because they're my favorite, but Boston could also take it. But for the West, I think it's 100% Kansas or Oklahoma City. I think they win the West. Who they go against, I don't know. I don't know if it matters really per se. Like who's even the 2 seed in the West? Is it the Warriors? Because the Rock? No, it's the Rockets. Rockets are the 2 seed, and I think they're gonna go down. Probably next game against the Warriors. So I think the Lakers are out. Minnesota's good defensively, but Oklahoma City Thunder is good defensively and offensively. It's just like, how do you stop them, really? Like, sure, you can be a great defense, but they're a great defense too, and their offense is pretty damn good. Nope. Shea's going to be the MVP, and we're blowing a save. I thought I timed that right. But I heard me talking crap about the real life team. But little basketball talk. I don't know how you stop Oklahoma City Thunder. I just don't. They have one of the better defenses in the league and offenses. They have the MVP Shea. So I don't know. Carlo Francisco, what is happening to you today? What the crap? Best reliever, and you're just blowing it. Every pitch I throw, it feels like it's getting hit. trying to get ahead in the count.
Ball, no.
That's a strike, but okay. But yeah, just a little NBA talk here to maybe end the video. I don't know. Maybe we're gonna go into extras. I hope not. I'm getting hot and hungry. But we might. See, like I think his ERA coming in was 297, and those 3 runs he's got up to 363, and he blew a save. Get the strikeout though. We'll get the strikeout. Other baseball news, I'll talk about maybe my favorite team a little bit. Red Sox, great start. Trevor Story, finally looking kind of like himself again a little bit. Knock on wood, he doesn't get hurt. Kristen, I don't know how to say his name, but first name, I think it's Kirsten Campbell. He's been good, signed his extension. Wilyer Abreu off to a I think he's cooled off a bit, but man, that first week or two of the season, he was killing the game. He was just killing it. And we are going to extras. He was killing the game. Ravi Devers started off bad. He's picked it back up. Bregman, watching the Mariners series, was just wrecking the Mariners. He was just hitting the ball everywhere. Miguel Crochet had some weird comments the other day. Like he's having a great start to the season. Like I could argue top 3 front runner for Cy Young in the American League if the season ended today. But he was talking about how he needs to be better. And it's like, bro, you are like one of the top 3 pitchers right now to start the season. What do you mean need to be better? I think his ERA is like around 2 or just below 2. Like, let's look real quick. Yeah, his ERA this season is 2.05, and he went on like a tirade. Not really a tirade, but he went on thing the other day. He was like, I gotta be better. Gotta be better for my team. It's like, bro, you are like the best right now in the league. What do you mean you need to be better? Like, if I was a pitcher right now with my crappy arm and 77 mile an hour fastball, I'd be happy if I could have as low as a 5 ERA. And this man's like, yeah, I got just 2.05 ERA, and I gotta be better for my team. I gotta, get out there and help them win. It's like, okay, can I have what you're smoking, please? It sounds really good if it's making you delusional like this. I want it. I want some. More Red Sox. I know Tristan Casas isn't off to a hot start as well. Not doing too great. We'll be doing better. You know, Tanner Houck, another pitcher. He's the one who's not having a great season so far on the mound. Like Garrett Crochet apparently got possessed by Tanner Houck during his talk about him needing to be better, because Tanner Houck is the one who needs to be better. Brian Vale, I don't know how well he's doing right now. I know he's doing okay, I think. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. And I don't want to look them up right now again, but I don't think he's doing too terrible. I think he was the first start against the Mariners last week. And I think he got the win in that first game.
Ball one. One ball, two strikes.
Yeah, I think he pitched the first game. Because I know the last game they were going against Garrett Crochet, and the Mariners actually won that game.
That's an out.
So I look and I think he's doing okay. I don't know who's catching for them right now, because I think Wong is hurt. I know in the game it says they have Yasmani Grandal now, but I don't know it actually played for him yet. I know Duran had a bad interaction with a fan, but Duran didn't start it. The fan told him that when Duran was struggling with emotions and potential suicide. I think it was in Cleveland too. The fan told him he should have done it, which is not. It's not great. That is not a great thing to say to someone. That is horrible. I remember that happening last week. I think that you don't do that. You don't say that to someone. That is not a good thing. That is not great. You never want anyone, as someone who personally has dealt with someone, a family member, I loved and cared for, and have dealt with that thing and having it happen. It's not great. It's horrible, and I would not wish someone, even my worst enemy, if someone they knew to, do that to themselves. I would not wish that upon my worst enemy. To know the pain of losing a loved one to that. And that is just, it's unacceptable, really, by that fan. That is horrible. Super unacceptable. You don't do that. Which, saying from a team who I know's fan base is at home games has been a little racist, which is also not good. But at the same time, it's bad. And I don't want to hear it, but I think I'd rather hear someone being racist than telling someone to deposit themselves out of life. I mean, I don't want to hear either, frankly. Both are bad, but
He's out.
we'll just take that all back. None are good. Don't do any of them. It's bad, okay? Especially The one that happened to Durant last week. You don't do that. You don't.
Leading off for the Orioles, left fielder, JD Martinez.
You just don't do it.
Hard, 2. 0-2.
Just, I didn't think we would go to extras. I don't even know what to talk about anymore. I mean, talk about down there. Brian Wu in game fires 7.1, 7 1/3 innings of the 2-run ball. I don't know if it said he won or lost, but in real life, Brian Wu, kind of the Mariners' best pitcher right now.
The designated hitter, Ryan O'Hearn.
Kind of the Mariners' best pitcher. Not kind of, is the best Mariners starting pitcher. Garrett Crochet, as I mentioned again, one of the best in the leagues, but doesn't think he is. Weird. And just please score runs so I can leave. Because now I'm starting to have to go to the bathroom. I don't want to pause. Why did you have to come back and tie the game? You know what? Here, just... You don't hit a home run off of this, I guess we're going on. Okay. Try to give you the win there, Jordan Westburg, and you fouled it off. Now watch, I'm going to make a good pitch and he's going to hit it out. Well, yeah, I don't even know what to say. See the Pirates down there, real life. Paul Skeens continues to be an absolute demon on the mound. He's so good. Watched some highlights last night before I switched over to YouTube on my TV of the Athletics. Mason Miller, I know he was originally a starter, but they made him a closer to limit his innings. Still pumping 103 out of the bullpen. I don't know how you switch him back when he is just so absolutely dominant in the bullpen right now. I mean, maybe I won't say absolutely dominant, but... We can throw Durant out there, yeah.
Now running at second base. Number 20.
He's killing it. Closers that aren't killing it to start the season. Emmanuel Clase. I think, last year gave up 1 run? His ERA was like 0.6 or something like that. He only gave up 1 run in the regular season. And then this year, he is absolutely horrible to start this season. That's... I mean, I know he gave up some runs in the postseason, but Clase, what's going on, my guy? What happened to start this year? I just, saw Flash. We'll talk about them. Diamondbacks. Corbin Carroll is looking like the MVP right now of the National League. He is definitely bounced back since the first half of last season. First half of last season, not great for Carroll. Second half, pretty good. And now he has continued to that, and he is, I think right now, I think I watched MLB Tonight the other day, and they were like, if the season ended today, Corbin Carroll's MVP is how good of a season he's been having so far to start the year. Which is really good for the Diamondbacks. Corbin Burns for the Diamondbacks, he's had an okay start. Got an okay start to the year. I saw the Cubs flash down Kyle Tucker. I don't know his numbers, but he hasn't been talked about. Been talked about greatly, but he hasn't really been talked about badly. I think he's just having a pretty mid start. to start the season, it sounds like. But the whole team as a whole for the Cubs is doing great. I saw I saw on my phone they're 12 or 18-12, leading the National League Central.
High. 1 ball, 1 strike.
They're doing good. There was some weird thing with I was thinking about it now. There was some weird thing I think last week with James Woods of the Nationals. He hit a home run, and the Nationals
2-2.
Twitter, I think, for some reason came out and posted Sydney Sweeney. Have you seen James Woods? And what the heck is that about? Like, what is that? Like, why was that tweet made? What is, what does that even reference? What does it mean? Why? Makes no sense. It's like, Sydney Sweeney, have you seen James Woods? What is the purpose of that? Like, I truly don't know why that tweet was made. I don't. I'm kind of lost. AL leaders in game: Christian Walker 5.1. Bobby Witt Jr. was 2. I just like want to get this game over. I want to go to the bathroom. I want to go get food. I don't know what to talk about anymore, game. I don't know what to talk about anymore.
Push. 0-1.
I don't. We'll talk about in-game how Otto Lopez has sucked this year for us. In-game, he sucks. Offensively, anyway.
Ball.
Um, not baseball related, but I'm big into Yu-Gi-Oh. I just got the new Blue Eyes deck that they've made like a week ago, and it looks pretty strong. Looks pretty kind of OP. Maybe not OP, but it looks pretty strong. So yeah, I kind of started getting into Magic Gathering. I've got one of the Dungeons and Dragons Commander deck. I got a standard deck. I got Pokemon cards that I open. I got Pokemon decks. I got Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Pokemon cards out the wazoo.
No, that's a
I like
ball.
anime. I've
1 ball, no
been
strike.
waiting. I should probably start Thousand Year Blood War Part 3. Even though I kind of have the ends because I read the manga years ago, but
Yep.
gonna watch it.
1-1.
Been waiting for more episodes to come out on Max, but apparently there was saw an ad for it of all places on Facebook of a new anime on Toonami that's created by the original creator of Cowboy Bebop. And Cowboy Bebop's one of my favorite of all time. So just waiting for a few more episodes of that to come out so I can kind of start watching it. I know for Netflix, Blood of Zeus, I think, is coming out with a new season here soon. I haven't watched season 2 yet of that, but I probably should. Been slowly watching over the years through One Piece. I'm at Dressrosa, and I thought they were going to add not only new Egghead episodes, but the next season after Dressrosa on Netflix, but no, they're just adding new Egghead episode, so now I'm just kind of stuck on Dressrosa, and I don't have Crunchyroll Premium anymore. And Crunchyroll took away the free ad version that you could watch all the anime sub, dub, whatever language you want, but you just had to deal with ads. They don't have that anymore. I have to pay for premium for that. Because I'll be honest, I watch most of them. They probably have ads on sub, but I have this weird thing where I either have to read what they're saying and not see what they're doing, or see what they're doing but not be able to know what they're saying.
2 balls, no strike.
Oh, great. Well, gotta do this. So that's just a me thing. Like Fairy Tale, but I can't really watch that anymore because again, don't have Crunchyroll Premium. Because again, can't no ads anymore on Crunchyroll. You gotta pay for it. So it's big into I just recently I have 2 Walmarts where I live, and none of them had the new when it released in this limited steel book at Walmart. None of them had the new Spy Family movie on Blu-ray in the limited tin. So I had to drive like a half an hour south to the next closest Walmart to get it, which was stupid. What else did I just get recently? Oh yeah, the new My Hero movie. I didn't know it was out yet on Blu-ray, but I went to Walmart the other day and they were like, "Hey, guess what? It's out." And yes, this game is over. And I bought it. We lost. I feel like we should have won, but we lost. But I can stop talking now and rest my voice, because holy shit. I did not think I was going to be talking for an extra, what was that, the 12? Right? Let's look. Skip the highlight, yeah, Miami, Baltimore, visit the show, whatever. Yeah, 12 innings, extra 3 innings. I did not know I was going to be talking. Ugh. I'm going to have to, talk tomorrow. For my therapist meeting, or my therapy appointment, for like another 45 minutes tomorrow. So that's gonna be fun. We're gonna end here. We're not gonna sim, because if we sim past this day, it's gonna say, "Hey, you want to do the draft?" And we can't say, "Can we wait?" It would skip the draft. So no, we're just gonna end here. We lost. We should have won. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna rest my voice. I'm gonna save. Auto saves after every game. I'm gonna save. You see, hold on, right there. You see right there? I told you, I filmed the part I need to do. I just need to do a few more things for the intro and whatnot to get that whole thing going. Then I'm doing for it. You see right there? The roosters are almost back. Which I forgot to say at the beginning of the video, like I did when I was recording that one. But don't forget, if you made it this far, like the video, subscribe if you're new, share, comment. I don't want to kind of keep the... Well, we'll kind of keep the hype, the same comment, because this is coming out before then. Comment Rooster Hype, because they're coming back. Okay? Well, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for sticking around. I hope you liked... The last one of these didn't really get any views. I don't know why. But I'm hoping this one does. I'm hoping I get some interaction. I hope you kind of like this podcasty format. I still haven't yet tried it with a friend yet, but I don't really have... Most of my friends don't really know baseball. A lot of them know more basketball. I could get my cousin, who we could just talk. I know he knows more football than I do. So I could definitely get him on, even though we've kind of talked about a little about that in a football series that I still only released 1 episode of. You know what? No, we'll take back the comment. Not Rooster Hype. Leave a comment if you want me to release more of more of the football videos and record more. That'll be the comment. But anyway, thank you for watching. Again, like, subscribe if you're new, share, comment. Comment if you want me to release those football videos. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.